And now, here's today's Taste Appeal.
If you or someone you know has diabetes, you know that avoiding sugar altogether is really difficult. So here to tell us about the best sugar substitutes is Leslie Carrier, chef, educator, author, and health coach. Very busy lady. Thank you for being here with us today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, before we start about the sugar substitutes, before we start talking about that, tell us, why is white sugar bad for you? Why do people say, don't eat this?
White sugar is bankrupt.
What does that mean?
It's got a high glycemic index. As we were talking earlier, it's going to zap your energy, so you're going to feel more tired after you have it. Also, what makes it white?
I don't know.
Clorox, bleach.
Oh.
Do you want bleach in your food?
Not particularly. And so, do they add they add bleach to it? Are there any other chemicals that they throw in there that it makes it not good to have?
I don't know, because it's so bankrupt that I don't even bother with it. It's not even in my kitchen. I mean, there are so many other possibilities for sweetening everything.
So it's a highly processed sugar we don't want to deal with.
That's right. High glycemic index, goes into your veins like heroin and just gives you nothing left.
Okay. Well, let's forget about the bad stuff. Let's move on to the good stuff. Let's start over here with the coconut sugar.
Coconut sugar is one of my absolute favorites when I'm using a dry sweetener. You know, because sometimes you want a liquid sweetener in your desserts, sometimes you want a dry. So coconut sugar will give you B vitamins, lots of minerals, potassium. I mean, so you're actually getting vitamins and minerals and a sweet.
Out of sugar?
Out of sugar, and it's from a coconut, which is sustainably grown. So we're looking at good for you, good for the planet.
Great, wonderful. So moving on past the sugar, what is next?
The coma powder actually is maybe lesser known, super delicious in a smoothie, natural maple-like flavor. I love it anytime, like even if I'm making a waffle or a pancake, I'll add a little bit in. So you can use it instead of a little bit of your flour, or you can use it to sweeten.
Okay, so if you're putting it in your pancakes or your waffles, does it give it that kind of maple syrupy taste?
Absolutely, plus a little B3 as well.
Oh, wow. It's got a lot of stuff in that one. And this is, moving on to our liquids, is this honey?
These are two different honeys that I brought you. This is a local raw organic honey. This is a raw alfalfa honey, so you can see sometimes they come in different colors, and honey is loaded with antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals, very good for you.
Okay, and you can substitute sugar for honey.
That's right. You got to do a little bit of math, not too hard if you're doing a wet sweetener for a dry one.
Okay, so just do the math. Okay.
A little bit of math, and I'll teach you.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm not good at math. Maybe our viewers at home are, but not this one. Okay, and then this is just maple syrup, I believe.
Absolutely. This is one of our happiest times of the year. The sugaring season is happening. Maple syrup is local, it's organic, this particular brand is, and it's got a little bit of potassium. It's probably, you know, it's not like this, you know, drink a cup of it for your potassium.
Oh.
But again, if you want something that's organic. And one other thing I didn't mention is that all these sweeteners are from natural sources. Like this is from a tree. You know, this is from a tree, the coconut sugar, so you've got different things from trees, and as we move along, we've got sweeteners from grains, we've got sweeteners from roots, so Mother Nature wants us to have a sweet life.
She does. She's saying it's okay to have a sweet tooth. I've got stuff for it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so moving on past the syrup, we have I think this is the barley.
Yeah, that's barley malt, and that is made from malted barley, cooked down, cooked down, cooked down, so it makes a nice syrup. And it's about half as sweet as sugar. So if you're looking to make a dessert that might have a liquid sweetener, more like if you're making pastries, cookies or pie crusts, or even if you want to use that as a topping, say for a pancake or waffle.
Oh, great. So I can make, what if I wanted a cookie with dark chocolate chips or something that didn't have sugar in it? I could use that for it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great.
This is like the world of choices, celebrating the Earth's bounty.
And we still have more. Let's look at this one.
This is rice syrup, like the barley malt. It is half as sweet as sugar. It's also gluten-free. So with the exception of the barley malt, all these other sweeteners are gluten-free. So if that's an issue for you, you can have your cake and eat it.
Oh, literally. Okay,
The
and
rice syrup is yummy. And then the yacon syrup, which might not be as well known, is made from a root, and it is just loaded with minerals and vitamins.
Okay.
Yeah, yacon syrup even has inulin in it. So when you think of diabetes, you think of you need insulin. Well, this has inulin, which means that it's going to break down very slowly in your system. So what you want when you're thinking for everybody, whether you're diabetic or not, is something that's going to be complex, will go into your system slowly, so that you can enjoy it for the rest of the day and not be like knocked out after 5 minutes.
All right, so thank you for your tips, and we're actually making a sweet dessert later on in the show, some delicious truffles. So we look forward to that.
Absolutely, me too.
All right. But here we are back with Leslie Carrier, and she is going to show us how to make a delicious and diabetic-friendly dessert, honey hazelnut treats. All right, let's get started.
Absolutely.
What is the first step?
First step is you're going to take hazelnuts and grind them into a meal.
How many?
That's a cup.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to post that recipe, right?
Yeah. Oh,
It makes noise.
Okay.
So you
All
take
right.
a cup of hazelnuts
Cup
if
of
you
hazelnut.
like. You can leave it a little chunky.
Okay.
And the wonderful thing, especially when you're thinking for diabetic, and all of us really, is you want to have food that has protein, fiber, and healthy fats.
Okay.
Again, slows the digestion, gives us energy and stamina. So whether you're diabetic or not, I make no excuses. I eat these regularly.
Okay. All right, and then we're throwing in dates.
Dates is
How
part of
many
our sweetener, a cup
How many
of
of
dates.
those? A cup of dates. Oh, there we go
Again,
again.
more noise, more noise. Okay, you want to just... Okay, and then you're going to put in 1/4 cup of organic shredded coconut.
Okay. Is that sweetened or unsweetened?
Unsweetened.
Unsweetened
You've
coconut.
got your honey. You can also use maple syrup. Then we just have to change the name of the recipe.
Oh, okay. Well, it's that simple.
It's that simple. You can mix and match all those other sweeteners. So if you wanted even a little less sweet, you could use the rice syrup, the yacon syrup, or the barley malt. But because we've got nuts in here, honey's perfectly wonderful. So you put in 1/4 cup of honey. You put in a tablespoon of vanilla. I always like to use an organic one. And then a pinch of good quality sea salt. I like the Celtic sea salt.
Okay.
Just a pinch. That's it. Ready for more
That's it?
noise?
Yeah. All right. Now I'm prepared. Here we go. All right. Going.
So now we're going to need our plate.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Is that good to go?
That's good to go. So essentially, if you wanted, you could make little balls of this, and that would be great. But if you want to have even more energy, more stamina, a little bit more iron and magnesium, you can add some unsweetened cacao nibs. And then you can add, would you pass me the cacao powder?
Of course.
All right, more. In this case, more is better.
Well, I need a little bit of chocolate flavoring in there.
Right. So essentially you're going to use about a tablespoon or 2 of each.
Okay.
And what you're going to do now is this is something that kids would like too. You're going to make little walnut-sized balls.
Okay.
So whatever a walnut means to you. See, they get kind of a little sticky. And then you could pop them in your mouth as is. Or you can roll them
In the chocolate.
in
or
the chocolate.
The cacao powder.
In the cacao powder and the cacao nibs. You get a little bit of crunch. And there you go.
Wonderful. Can I try making one?
Absolutely, please do.
I dip my hand in here.
Dip your hand in there, make
Oh,
a
and
little
it is
walnut-sized ball.
sticky.
Yeah, that's from the dates.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I'm guessing the honey too.
the dates and the honey, absolutely.
Okay.
And
So I've
some
made it.
natural sweetness comes from vanilla and coconut as well.
Okay. So that's a pretty good size.
That's a pretty good size,
All
and you
right.
can eat it as is, like I said, or add some cacao.
It's coming apart. I didn't do a very good job of.
Just squeeze.
Can I? Oh, I'm gonna make a huge mess because now I'm squeezing it with all the powder on it.
No worries, it's going to be good.
Okay.
It'll still taste great. Yeah, I like to use both hands. That way I get chocolate on both hands.
Okay. Well, great. Well, they look good.
There you go. And if you want, just like the photo, you can also roll them in coconut.
Oh, that
You
would
can
be
roll them in
yummy.
goji berries. You can roll them in hemp seeds, you can roll them in whatever you want, and do share them with a friend.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing this delicious recipe with us.
You're so welcome.
We have loved it. I'm excited to try it. Thank you
Enjoy.
again. If you want this recipe, head over to mymassaappeal.com later today.